for joining me in a new environment. I am here in my guest bedroom, and we just got it all ready for company. My mother's coming this weekend, so I'm really excited. And I just realized I left the door open. So I'm going to go close the door real quick just so we don't have any interruptions. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Okay, almost there. And we're back. Sorry about that. So all I need is my dog come running in here while I'm in the middle of talking to you. But it is National Smile Week, and it's always lovely to have something to smile about. And I wanted to share with you two tips. I'm going to share with you a lot more information, but two really secret tips, not so secret, that will help you with meal planning. Before I do that, do pop over to our website, sign up for our newsletter because we've got a whole list of safe and simple substitutions for cooking, meal planning, shopping, which is what we're talking about today. Hi, thanks for popping in. It's always nice when people visit. It really is. So pop over and sign up for the newsletter, and you'll get those simple, safe substitutions, which will help you with meal planning because that's what we're talking about today. Before I start, I want to give you two tips that I have gleaned over the course of my whole experiment with my poor diet. The first tip comes from Timothy Ferriss. If you don't know who he is, he's a brilliant billionaire who's written a billion books. And one of them is called the 4-hour body. So it's how you can get the body that you want in 4 short hours. And one of the tips that he has in his book about diet is pretty much eating the same thing every single day. Now, I'm not advocating that because that would be really boring for us. But when it comes to breakfast and lunch, guys, those are a couple of things that you can eat pretty much the same thing every single day. Adults, not kids. Believe me, I understand we're not talking about kids here, but breakfast for sure. Or kids can have almost the same thing every single day. And then you can modify their lunches a little bit. But for you as an adult, keep it simple. Just Monday through Friday, have your salad, have your leftovers, have your whatever. We'll get more into more details in just a minute. But that's one trick that I learned is like for me, breakfast and lunch the same every single day. The only meal I have to really worry about is dinner, which makes my life so much easier. Tip number 2 comes from the Whole30. And I really like this too. And it's leftovers for breakfast. Whatever protein, whatever vegetables they had the night before in the Whole30, they say throw in an egg or two if you don't have an egg allergy, of course, and turn it into breakfast. And I do follow that. I don't use the egg though. I don't. But leftovers, that pretty much is my breakfast. It's actually my lunch because I'm not a big breakfast person unless it's the weekend, Sunday breakfast. Yay. So those are my 2 tips. But we've got more information we're going to talk about with meal planning because meal planning, and we're getting back to school, and you know those easy, lazy days by the pool and the beach and everything, they're going to go away. So we are going to talk about meal planning, and I do have a meal planning template that is, I will share with you. I'll put the link to this template in the comments when we finish. But it's really nice because it breaks everything down into breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See, I've already filled out the dinners. I've planned my dinners for the week, and I'm going to work on breakfast and lunch with you guys now. Also over here, I have this already filled out. These are staples. So most of these items, if they show up in our recipes, I won't have to buy them because I should already have them in my kitchen. They're staples. So one thing I do recommend is if you don't have staples on hand, that you get them. It's really important. It will simplify your shopping experience and simplify your life. Really great idea. So again, for me, shopping for dinner is the most important thing. And then we can fill in breakfast and lunch later. And for me, I eat leftovers. That's what I have for lunch. And I usually have lunch between 11 and 12, but kind of early. And that ties me to dinner. So I'm a 2-meal-a-day person, but I do have this lovely 14-year-old child living in my house. And she's hungry all the time. So I do have to plan meals for her. Now, I'm fortunate. She's 14. So she's okay eating the same breakfast every day. She's okay eating the same lunch every day. So I'm able to fill in those blanks very easily with my shopping list. Now, these recipes all came from this book, and I'll send you the link to this too, the top 19 for 2019, kid-friendly, allergy-free, gluten-free. The recipes all have probably a little bit of gluten or a little bit of food allergic, so the top 8, but they have modifications, so you can make just about anything for anybody. And these are all tested by kids and families, so there's something that I think your family would enjoy. Anyway, that's how I did my list for the week. So I have the first thing is 1 pot pasta, chicken and veggies. So I'm going to go through my ingredient list. The ingredient list right there, number 1 is hard to exactly. Right there, number 1. So I go through my ingredient list and I write down all of the things that I don't have in my house already that I'm going to need. Then I go to my second recipe. And the way I have planned this out, I start my week with 2 chicken dishes that call for leftover chickens because I am assuming on Sunday, in my house, it's pretty much one of 3 things, excuse me, on a Sunday. We have pot roast, we have a pork loin, or we have roasted chicken. That's kind of our big thing. And I double those so that I have those proteins to spread through the week and use those in my recipes. So my first 2 dinners, Monday and Tuesday, I am counting on the second roasted chicken that I made on Sunday. And I'm going to split that chicken into 2 different meals. Okay, it works. It makes my life easier. So I go and I write down all of the ingredients for my one pot pasta. Then I move on to my chicken pot pie. And if I have duplicate items, I just add to the item. Like in one, we'll keep going. My next one is a tangy tamale pie. Well, I'm going to need a few things that I didn't have for my one pot pasta or my chicken. So I'm going to add those extra ingredients. And one of the things I need is pie crust. I need 2 pie crusts. So I write down pie crust too. Well, as I go down, I go through my chicken sandwich, I go through my meat pie. I notice that I also need pie crust for my meat pie. So I'm just going to change that number to a 4. That's all, very simple. So you just keep referring back to your list as you go through every single item on your list. Then you're going to do the same thing for breakfast. And what I also do for dinner, I'm going to backtrack a little bit, is some of my items, my meals, don't need sides because there are a lot of vegetables right in there. But with my tangy tamale pie, there's not a lot of side item, not a lot of vegetables in there. So I'm going to serve that with fruit. And my chicken sandwich, my chicken melt Sammy, which is so good, I'm going to serve that with some sweet potato fries. And with my meat pie, I'm going to have a little easy green salad. And with my roasted chicken, I'm going to throw in some extra vegetables. And with my meatloaf, I'm going to have broccoli. So I'm just going to add to those items as I go. Because if my broccoli is already on my list, I don't have to add it again, right? I just put the extra. So I have the exact quantities that I want. When it comes to breakfast and lunch, again, you know your children, you know your family, you know them better than anybody, but sketch it out, outline it, make your list, add to it, and make sure your pantry is stocked with those staples. For me, when I was going through this menu, these items, the staples that I found in the recipes were flour, broth, seasonings. You should always have seasonings on hand, eggs, milk, non-dairy milk if you have a dairy allergy, and no eggs if you have an egg allergy. I don't know what's happening with my voice right now. I don't understand. Condiments, ketchup, mayonnaise, mustard, Worcestershire. If you don't have a fish allergy or a wheat allergy, be sure to be careful of Worcestershire sauce. Again, lots of substitutions on my website, and that can help you with all of that so you can make these amazing meals. Butter, non-dairy butter if you have a dairy allergy, and breadcrumbs and gluten-free breadcrumbs if you do have a gluten allergy. So these are the staples, and in my house, our staples are Ian's breadcrumbs. I always have Ian's breadcrumbs, gluten-free. I have Earth Balance, soy-free butter alternative. That's what we use in this house instead of butter. Or we can tolerate clarified ghee, so I keep ghee in the house as well as the Earth Balance. Condiments, I'm a stickler with mayonnaise. I have to, dairy-free mayonnaise is a must in this house. You can find all kinds of vegan mayonnaises that don't have dairy or egg if you have an egg allergy. So just something to be careful of and mindful of when you're choosing your condiments. Reading those labels all the time is so important. Eggs, if you don't have an egg allergy, again, that should always be in the house. And some kind of milk. We talked about non-dairy milk. So those are the wonderful things that you can have in your house, and you can make your shopping experience so much easier. It's just plotting and planning, plotting and planning, plotting and planning. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this today. This went a lot quicker than I had anticipated. So you've got my 2 tips. You've got my template. I'm going to put the template in the comments so you can access that. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful shopping and meal planning experience. And if you have any questions about substitutions or how to simplify it even more, just send me a little note or send me a direct message, and definitely we'll answer those questions. So that's easy. And one other thing I want you to, I almost forgot one of the most important things. This is awesome, you guys. So after you sketch out your menu for the week, and it's going to be chicken scratch, right? It's going to be sloppy and messy. This is when I sketched it out and put all the things you see, all my scribbles and my little side notes, and that's kind of a pain to go into a grocery store with. So I have this wonderful app that I just love. It's called Shopping List. That simple, Shopping List. And it literally gives you a shopping list, and you can create different lists. So I have, I'm backwards, I have all kinds of different lists here. I have one for Costco. I have one for Target. I have one for Tom, for my husband. So I can just send him, like, if he's like, anything you need, honey, and you can email it, you can text it. It's so simple. And then the beauty of this app is it categorizes things for you. So once you put in chicken, you put poultry, and then you put milk, and you put dairy. And once you've done it once, you don't ever have to do it again. And everything is populated, it's color coded. Oh my gosh, if you're a crazy type A person like me, you will love this. It is crazy fabulous and so organized. You go to the grocery store and you just off your list, and then you have everything you need, and you don't have to worry about forgetting anything. And you can email it to people who are shopping for you, which is so freaking awesome. So it doesn't have to be this app, but I would make sure that I download some kind of app to go to the grocery store, so you're not dealing with the chicken scratch. But set aside 30 to 45 minutes on a Sunday. Map out your meal plan, know what you need, know what your substitutions are, understand your labels, get to the grocery store, stock up for the week, and then you don't have to think about it. And double cook on Sunday. Double cook on Sunday whatever protein you're going to have through the meat, through the week. If you're going to do some pork recipes, do a double pork loin on Sunday. If you're going to do chicken recipes, do double roasted chicken on Sunday. Just double it up. And through the week, if you decide you're like me and leftovers for lunch are good for you, just make a little bit extra. Make an extra serving or two when you're cooking that night, and then you have it for breakfast or lunch the next day. Whatever you can do to make things easy, whatever you can do to make things simple. Eating the same meal, breakfast and lunch throughout the week. That's simple, right? Planning ahead, that's time consumptive, but it's simple. Whatever we can do to make things a little bit easier for you, that's what we want to do. Thanks for popping in today, visiting my guest room, and I'll see you next week. Have a great, I'm looking for the end button. Have a great week. Bye, y'all. And yes, end.